Today, on episode 500 and something, maybe 600 and something.
676.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, episode 600. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Welcome to episode 676. On today's show, we are doing iPhone photography tips and tricks. So if you use your iPhone to take pictures, this is for you. If you haven't used your iPhone for taking pictures, this is for you. If you don't have an iPhone, this is for you. If you're not a photographer, this is for you. If you're not from this country, this is for you. If you're from this country, it's for you too. Plus, we've got an amazing food tip. We've got giveaways. We're giving away my brand new Lightroom book for whoever has the best iPhone photography tip today, because we actually got the hard copies in. It's going to be a ridiculously fine day. And that's because Mr. Eric K is here. And this all starts in just what? 13.4 seconds. Let's go.
The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to The Grid. It's 1 o'clock-ish on the East Coast. And
That it is.
Kuna's here.
I'm here.
I'm here.
And look, we got like new mics or something.
You know, I know that. I don't know what's going on with the
I don't
mics.
know.
Hey,
Got
but you know
new
we do
mics.
have, also we have studio audience. Stu. Stu's here.
Stu
Stu's in the house. So it's going to be a great day. Anytime Stu shows up, it's always a good day. And let's see what's going on. I got food stuff. Can I start with my food stuff? Can I bust
Might as
open
well.
that? We're
Might
going to
as
talk
well.
about iPhone photography tips. You just heard that. So that's what we're doing today. And
we also want to hear some of your best iPhone photography tips. If you've got any. leave
best
them in
one of the
chat.
day, you get a signed copy of my brand new Lightroom book, which we'll look at in just a second here. All right. So you may have heard of this place because it's big. Buc-ees.
Yes.
It's
And you know the biggest one ever is coming to the state of
come
Florida.
to the state of Florida down at Fort Pierce,
Fort
right?
Pierce,
Fort
yep.
Pierce. So Buc-ees is a massive picture like a Walmart, but it's a gas station. It's
Yeah,
a
that's
giant place. I've never been to one.
You've never
I've
been to
seen
one?
the pictures of them.
Oh my
I've
gosh.
thought, anyway, so my dear friend Terry White is driving from Atlanta to Nashville for the PPA
Oh
conference
yeah, and
that
they've got
just
one
ended.
on that road.
They
I've
have
seen
one
it,
on the
yeah.
road, and he's stopping. And I'm like, hey, man, you got to get some of those Beaver nuggets. I don't know. I've just heard they're really good.
Yeah.
So not only did Terry stop and get some Beaver nuggets, but he sent me 2 bags of Beaver nuggets. This is just what I needed. Have you had these?
Yes, I have. My daughter loves them.
These are insane. They're just crazy. And so I brought 1 bag to the office. I'm going to let my office crew try these.
Yeah, it's like
And-
sugar and
But here's
corn.
the thing.
Yeah.
They take a look at them. They taste nothing like they look.
No, they're very good.
So picture caramel popcorn, but without the popcorn.
yes, yeah, that's
It's
about
kind
it.
of like that.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh! And you eat the first one, and here's how it goes. You eat the first one, and you have to get overweight. It looks nothing like what this looks like, right? So but you go, it's pretty good.
And you keep on.
And then you have a second one, and you're like,
Yep.
wow, these are good. But once you eat that third one, you're going right through the bags like. So, Terry, no thank you for sending this. It's ruining my life. Don't. So today's thing is don't buy these.
Don't do it.
And if you do buy multiple bags, because there's no way you're going to go through that first bag like lightning. Anyway, that's the Beaver nuggets from Buc-ees, the world's. I saw the new gas station is going to have 108 pumps,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
18 different charging stations for EVs, and it's just
Yeah, they're building it right where the Florida Turnpike and 95 kind of meet. So it's kind of like that junction right there.
yes. All right, so there's that. We're giving away stuff today. What are we giving away, Mr. K?
Well, we got a Platypod handle we're giving away. So somebody's going to win the Platypod handle today. Then we're giving away a copy of my night photography book, if you want to learn all about night photography.
Who doesn't?
And then we're giving away a copy of Scott's Lightroom Classic book. Remember, this is going to go to the person who has the best tip.
Yeah,
iPhone tip.
so if you have a good tip, You put it in the chat, you're automatically entered, and the best tip of the day wins.
And speaking of that, we're giving away the iPhone photography book today as well. So,
And speaking of that, what's coming up next here is the iPhone Photography Conference.
yeah, iPhone photography conference coming up in that's in
March?
beginning
Yeah.
of March, and all you're going to learn all about the iPhone, how to use it, really, not as just a snapshot camera, but as a
Serious
real
camera.
serious mirrorless camera, because that's what it really is. If we're being honest, it's a mirrorless camera with an electronic screen, viewfinder, whatever you want to call it. With multiple lenses that you don't even have to switch on and off like a mirrorless.
And all the
DSLR.
photos that you're seeing, those are all iPhone photos.
Yeah.
Right.
So there you go. So we're going to be teaching over there all that stuff. And today we're just going to go over, there's tips and there's tricks that we've learned over the years with dealing with it. Just like any camera, there's little things. And what's great about the iPhone, I think, is there's things about the iPhone that it can do that you wish your mirrorless camera could do.
Yeah, like your mirrorless camera can do time lapse, but you
Not
have
easy.
to do the math.
Not
and it's
easy.
not easy. It's a pain in the butt. With this one, you just touch time lapse and start shooting. You go time lapse, go, and it's done. It does all the math. It does everything in the background. It combines the thing. It does it, and you can immediately watch it. It just
Or another one would be panos.
panos,
It can
the
just
way
do
it does panos perfectly. I don't even do panos anymore with my mirrorless or my other one. So it's the perfect second camera. And by the way, just so you know, so this is the iPhone 17 Pro.
That's what I have too.
It is a 13 millimeter to 200 millimeter optical lens.
Yeah, that's
13 to 200. You can't even buy a 13 to 200 in the mirrorless world, but
If
this
they
one
sold it, I would
here.
buy that 13 to 200 in a
And
late.
it's
So
24.
easy.
It's 24 megapixels by default, but you can turn on a 48 megapixel RAW. 24 megapixels RAW, 48 megapixels RAW. It's all right here. Of course, you can shoot in JPEG and all that stuff too, but it is a formidable camera. So I will tell you this: our most attended conference of the year is the iPhone conference that's coming up. My best-selling book for the past 5 years is this iPhone photography book. And right now, I'm just finishing up updating the book. It's going to be going to press here just in a few weeks. And I've got all the latest stuff for all the latest OS and the new camera stuff and all is in there. Someone's going to win that one right there, this print one. And then, of course, my Lightroom book just came out. We got our first copies yesterday. It is 515 pages, I think. It is my most complete Lightroom book. It starts everything from Lightroom is here, and it's all the latest stuff, all the new masking, all the stuff. It's all in there, and we're going to be giving someone's going to win that today. All right. So what we're going to do today, besides looking at our Beaver nuggets, is we're going to do some iPhone tips. So I've got some, but of course we want to hear yours as well. So let me get my thing going here, and I'll show you a couple. We'll get started. Don't move, don't breathe, don't make a sound. I've got to do that. Okay, here we go. All right, so first tip is about changing exposure on the fly. Changing exposure on the fly, all right? So here's how you do this. It's a really simple thing, but I think you'd be surprised. All right, number one, just tap to focus, right? So here's my subject. I'm shooting her with my phone, and I tap on her to set the focus. Now, you wish your camera did it this easy, that you could darken the exposure by just taking your finger and dragging down. So just tap it on the screen and drag down to make it darker, or drag up to make it brighter. How's that for easy?
It's so
That's
easy.
like the world's easiest exposure. But I want to take it a step further. That's
Okay.
really, all right, and that is choosing your background blur after the fact. So your bokeh or your bokeh, however you want to pronounce it. All right, here's how it happens. So here's the image, right? Up in the top right corner, you see that little F? You click on it, and look, you can change how blurry the background is with a slider. Look
Yeah.
at that.
And that's in portrait mode.
That's in portrait mode. You'll see, just tap on the screen, you'll see the little F appear. You tap on the F, and it switches you to f-stop mode. And look at that. That's what it would look like with an f1.4 lens.
Yeah.
Isn't that
It's
amazing?
like you got a lens upgrade right in the slider.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think that kind of stuff is just amazing. All right. So while like my iPhone book that we're going to give away today, I do talk about camera stuff like that. But a lot of it is just taking regular photography things that we do with our other cameras and saying, if this 24 megapixel mirrorless iPhone is your camera, then here's how you would do it if it was your regular camera. So you're able to use regular photographic techniques. So I'm going to give you a technique for better outdoor photos. Photos when you're outdoors, okay? The first thing is spend some money. Not a lot of money, just a little bit of money can set you up for success for outdoor portraits. Here's what I recommend getting. Go get this Westcott 5-in-1 reflector disc, but not for the reasons that you think, because I'm going to tell you two things that you probably haven't heard before. But it's Westcott 5-in-1 reflector disc. You can get the 40-inch one is actually a pretty good size. It's like $40. Yep. So you actually get this when you get it. It has a silver side and a white side. And if you unzip it, you flip it over, then it has a black side and a gold side. That's why it's called 5-in-1. You have, 4 of those plus one more we'll talk about in a second. All right. So what are these for? Why silver? Why white? Why black? Why gold? There's a reason for all of these. Silver is what you would use if you're in the studio. You need the most amount of light reflected. You would choose studio. Silver bounces the most light. All right, white. What would you use white for? White is for product photography or food photography. It bounces light, but not nearly as harsh as the silver one. Like the silver one is really designed for you to bounce the sun. The product is for you to bounce whatever light is in the room kind of back in at your food or whatever. What's the black for? This one, no one ever, it's the black one that it gets everybody.
Removing
the black
light.
one is for adding a shadow. So when you shoot in the shade, right, or under a tree or under an awning or any of those places that are where the light looks kind of good, the thing that's missing would be the shadows on one side of their face. So what you do is you take this black reflector and you move it in, and you can probably even see it on my face how it
well, your hands create that shadow.
My hand's making the shadow. But it literally, it adds to the shadow on the other side of the face, and it gives you depth and dimension so your lighting isn't flat. The last one, gold, what is it for? It is for bouncing light, like the silver one, when you're outdoors and it's like getting close to sunset. So you could bounce it with silver during the day, but when the sun starts getting down, you know what looks weird? Silver light when it's sunset. That's what the gold side is for, right? Yeah. All right, now look at Kuna for a second, because I gotta.
Yeah, look at me for a second.
Look at Eric for a second, because there's something
wrong
with my text.
But the other thing like you gotta think about with that is like when we talk about a V flat, right? There's usually a white side and the black side. And that's for that reason, is that's one of two of the 5 reflectors, and that's where you're using that in the studio. Sometimes to just bounce light back, and sometimes to take light away.
That was a perfect cover.
Yeah, there you go.
And the timing was absolutely perfect. Okay, I fixed it. All right, so I said there's 5. It's a 5-in-1, the Westcott, right? So what's inside that if you unzip it?
That's the magic one.
The magic one's inside. So it is a one-stop diffuser. So the one-stop diffuser looks like what you would put in front of a soft box. And basically, it's kind of translucent. You can kind of see through it, right? So that's kind of the deal. And so let me show you what it does. So here's your subject. She's out in direct sun. And look at the shadow, like,
oh, maybe.
There we go. Okay, I'm sorry, my screen went black. All right.
There it is.
Look at the shadow under her neck. It's very hard. It's very harsh. She's squinting.
Yep.
Her skin looks shiny. These are all this different stuff.
It's all the bad stuff.
You're going to take that diffuser and you're going to put it over her head between the sun and her. So basically, you're going to block out the sun. And it looks like this when you do it, right? You're just holding this disc over her head. All right? Now, let's take the same exact picture with the phone. Everything's the same, still using the phone, and look at the difference. Let me put them side by side so you can really appreciate what that little disc does for making a more professional looking portrait. Look at the shadow under her neck now. It's soft, it's blend.
Yeah, it's pleasing.
I mean, everything. She's not squinting. Everything looks good. Look at all the shiny spots on her skin are there.
She doesn't have her eye cut off with that like shadow right under her eyeball.
Yep, it's all of that stuff. All right, so that's the thing. And what we're trying to get you to do is start treating the iPhone like the good camera that it is. It's a very good, very, very good camera.
And this is why we talk about this. It doesn't matter which exact camera you have. That is not going to be the revolutionary thing to your photography. Even though we think, oh, if I get that Leica, I'm going to become a professional photographer. Yeah, if I get
Leicas
the Leica.
are nice.
It's nice. Don't get me wrong. But it's not going to be the thing that's going to change your photography. It just won't.
It's that other stuff.
Yeah.
It's these
little things that
like
we're
this.
talking about.
All right. You guys, you have a technique there that you want to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got one. Here, let me, in fact, let me just show a couple, like first, these are ones that I've shot with old iPhones. This is way back, nothing like 17, 16. This is 14, 13. I've shot rocket photography with it. Long exposures, night stuff, star trails, all that good stuff. In fact, that one up on the top, you were with me.
Yeah.
That was in Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like a 20-minute. That was a 20-minute long exposure with an iPhone.
With an iPhone.
And then there's long exposures at night, landscapes, cityscapes. We can do all these different stuff with it. So there's no limitation there, right?
Right.
So one of my tips, and here, take off my screen for a second and let me jump because I'm pulling up inside of here. One of the tips, and actually we were just talking about this shoot. Oh, where is it now? I just had it. Well, anyways.
Do I need to stall?
No. This is the tip. Clean your lens.
Clean your lens.
I cannot tell you how many times I see people's iPhone photos, right?
They look soft.
And they look soft, or they look blurry, or they look like the light's being diffuse and all that stuff. You know what that is? That's smudges of oil and dirt and dust from your pocket, which is the reason why I have a case that has a cover that I can flip off. I have that intentionally for that because if not, you got to make sure every time you take it out of your pocket, you're wiping it down, right?
Yeah, use a microfiber cloth.
And that's what I had it. I just.
All right, but Eric, I have a tip on top of your tip.
Yeah.
And I think
Here
I'm going to
it
guess.
Is. Here's the shot. I was just talking to you about that shot, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing is you want to use a cleaning cloth. Have that in your pocket and clean it in between uses. Now I would make that recommendation too. Is you can get a case that has a flip out or flip up screen, which I do like. But there's two ways to go about it. You can protect your lens or clean your lens. Just do one of those. And that's all I'm saying for the tip. Clean your lens.
Eric, I'm going to take your tip up through the roof. I'm going to give a tip that I don't think even you know.
Okay.
And it's for your iPhones. It's for the current iOS.
Yes.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
I don't think you're ready for this.
I'm ready.
Are you guys sitting down out there?
I'm sitting down.
There's a new feature in iOS 26, which is the current iOS 26 point whatever. And here's what it does. When you turn it on, you go to settings, you go to camera, and it's in the camera settings.
I know you're going to talk about.
What am I talking about?
About how it'll tell you that you have to clean your
It will tell
lens.
you. You knew that.
And
one.
you know why? Because
It will
Android
tell
had
you.
it for the last 3 years, and iPhone didn't.
Well, that's good because children need to be reminded.
Children need to be reminded.
All right.
Yep.
Because that's who's using those. Anyway, back to our story.
It is cool.
It will tell you you need to clean your lens. If it detects something like a fingerprint or a smudge
it
or
can
something,
detect like something's wrong.
it will
with
tell
this.
you need to clean your lens. Now, it has to be a significant amount for it to tell you, which is why Eric's tip is so good.
That's it.
Clean your lens. Just think about it.
I agree. Because
Yeah.
even Android has this feature too, but it really doesn't work when there's just a little bit of smudge on there.
Yeah,
it has to be like
significant.
recognizable, significant, and you don't want that. Just clean your lens. Again, that's where you
Fingerprints, that's
think
the
about it.
thing.
You wouldn't take your mirrorless lens, stick it in a dirty bag without the lens cap on it, have it you smudge in with your fingers all over it, and then you go shoot. You would clean your lens. So
Yeah.
do the same thing. Again, maybe what I'm saying too is treat your iPhone like a regular camera, and you'll have professional images. So just clean your lens.
There you go. We're going to take a short pause. When we come back, we're going to do some shout outs. We've got some more tips. I don't see any tips from anybody yet. We're looking over at the tip screen, and it's looking pretty bleak. Bleak! All right. Stick around. We'll be right back with more, hopefully more iPhone tips. So,
Well, we got tons.
we got tons.
Hey, my friends, Rick Salmon here. You know, a lot of photographers take a lot of pictures, however, they don't really practice. So in my latest KelbyOne class, info pack and fun filled, by the way, I show you how to practice the right way. Not by photographing more, but by practicing with purpose. This is the key. You'll learn in this class how to avoid common mistakes, set simple goals, and this is important, turn everyday photo sessions into rewarding experiences. Whether you're photographing wildlife, people, or landscapes, or if you're doing street photography, studio photography, or close-up photography. These ideas apply whether you're using a big camera, like I use for my wildlife photography, or a smartphone, which I use for just about everything else. If you want to get better faster, if you want to create images with impact, this class is for you. So my friends, let's stop guessing. Let's start growing and let your creative vision take flight. Please join me for my latest class only on KelbyOne.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
All right, we're back.
We're back. We got some
people
folks
joining us all over the world.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got Larry H. saying hi from Nebraska, Nicole saying hi from Clearwater, Florida, right down the street. Susan saying hi from Columbus, Ohio.
Hi, Susan.
Lori saying hi from Newfoundland. Kendra saying hi from Chile, South Dakota.
Riaz,
that's what I was thinking. Riaz from London saying hi. Met saying hi. Hey, Met, all the way from Denmark.
cold Denmark.
Yeah, and Jen's joining us from Scotland. George from West Texas. Richard from a very wet and rainy London, UK. Babacom.
Richard, I know Richard.
Joining us from Long Island, New York. And then Laurent joining us from Cave Creek, Arizona. We got people joining us all over the place.
All right.
If you have any tips for the iPhone, make sure to share it because we'd love
Yeah.
to hear yours as well.
All right. So just before we get into some more tips here, I'm going to run you through just real quick what's in this book.
Okay.
My iPhone
Yeah.
book, because someone's going to win it here in a minute. I'll just show you, because I kind of told you
Yeah.
here's what it's like. But this is what, take a look on screen here. All right. So the first chapter is really about the camera and the settings and all that kind of
Right.
stuff, right? I have a composition one, which a lot of people that use the phone aren't really thinking so much about that. A whole section on photographing people. There's a chapter on travel and landscape photography. There's a chapter on other cool stuff like food, well, for example. There is an iPhone camera tips and tricks, which is kind of like we're doing that today, right? I did nude selfies, how to shoot nude selfies like a pro. So that's, and they're using all my own images. Organize, no, that's not real. Okay, just it's not really in the book. So here we go. Hey, did you see my subhead? Unless you're a monk, here's how to photograph your junk. I thought that was kind of funny. No, wow. Organize, that was kind of.
You got Stu on that one too.
Did I get Stu?
You got Stu. He was laughing.
It's not easy to get him. All right. Organizing your photo library. So how to, organize the stuff on your phone. How to edit your images, right? So that's obviously a very key part. Also, I did a whole thing on apps. There's apps that can take your photos to the next level. And then, I was drinking Eric's water. And then I did a whole thing on awesome iPhone accessories. And lastly, at the end, I did photo recipes where I show you a picture and then how to create that same type of picture. All right, and those are all iPhone photos. Okay, so let's get back to the tips. Ready? Here we go. All right, this is gonna.
Do you have one?
Oh no, you go.
No, I got one that I see a comment here from Holly, and I think this is a tip for everybody's out here as a photographer. She says, my tip is I think I need a new iPhone. My 11 just doesn't take good photos. I will say a lot of the shots you saw in the thing, the one I had for the longest time was the iPhone 11 Pro.
Yeah, I had the 11 Pro.
But that's the tip. If you're a photographer and you want to treat this as a mirrorless camera, there's a reason why it has that Pro at the end of like iPhone 11, 12, 13 Pro.
Yeah.
You want the Pro
It's
model.
the next
That's
level
the
camera.
tip.
Yeah.
If you want the difference, because the regular models just don't have the features and the lenses and all the quality that we need. Now, I would say there's big jumps. Like I think at the 14, it really jumped. And then I would agree that this new 17 was a big jump for me, right? So there's times when they're like little jumps, like 14 to 15 was not like a huge jump.
No.
Or, like 11 to 12 wasn't like monumental jumps.
But this
now,
last
if
one?
you get the 17
Pro,
not the 17, that's
17.
the tip here for photographers. There's a reason it has that Pro at the end. It's usually because of two things: pictures and video. That's what's really great when you go up to that Pro model. So just make sure, again, if you're going to upgrade, don't get I'd rather you get a 15 Pro than a 17 regular, because you're going to have more lens options, you're going to have more choices, it's just going to be a better experience. So that's the tip. Go for the Pro.
100% go for the Pro.
Yeah.
All right. Now the tips are pouring in. Okay. Norwich said taking slight offense at the dig towards Android users. Yeah, you should. Dan says,
I feel your pain. I use both, but I am more of an iPhone user than an Android user. But my wife, she's on the Android camp. She's always, and I love her Android phone. It's amazing. It is.
it's good stuff.
I just hate the experience on the OS, but that's another topic.
Okay, Dan says, clean your iPhone lens, but if you wear eyeglasses, you may need to clean those too.
That
Dan, I
is
use
true.
the same cleaning cloth.
Yeah.
So I keep a cleaning cloth in my back pocket. I have one right now. Hey, you didn't even notice my new shirt, by the way.
I didn't even see it.
Look at this new shirt.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Now, this was not my idea. I did a one-on-one with one of our members this week, and his was small letters, CR3, and he didn't have the little logo. So I told him,
That's
I said,
cool.
can I rip off your idea? I love this, because .cr3 is the Canon RAW format, right, that I shoot.
Yeah.
So all of my photos have .cr3 at the end of it, and so I thought I'd make a shirt, and I did.
And my older cameras have CR2.
Yeah, and your older cameras have CR2. That's exactly right. All right. We got some more tips. These are pretty good tips. Nicole says, don't pinch to zoom. Zoom with your feet. Don't ever pinch to zoom on a phone.
You hit
can
round
look at
numbers.
the photos.
Round
You
numbers.
can look at the photos by pinching to zooming, but when you're in the camera app and you're going to take a photo, you want to use the numbers. You want optical lenses. The digital zoom is going to be soft and pixelated. Don't pin. That's a good tip.
Especially when you go out to that telephoto range. That's where I see people doing it a lot. They go to they'll have an older one, they'll go to like 2x, and then they'll pinch to like 5x. Don't do it. Just the max you have on the telephoto is 2x, that's all you're going to get.
All right, Gail's got a really good tip here, but hey, let me just tell who's on the moderation today? Dobson? Dobson, don't erase the tips because we have to give somebody
undo.
Hit a bunch of undos because he was erasing tips and we can't.
We got to vote for one.
Yeah, we got to vote for one. But
it's probably not going to be the Android thing.
Yeah, you can probably take that one off.
Just kidding.
They already have enough misery.
Ouch.
Wow.
Ouch.
Okay, let's go to. I just said we had a good one. Who was it from? Gail.
Oh yeah, my iPhone tip is to set your iPhone camera roll to sync with a folder in Dropbox. I sync mine and my husband's both sync to the same folder.
Well, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Like, let's just say that you went on vacation, husband and wife.
Yeah.
Right? And you can afford to go on vacation because you're an iPhone owner. And so, I'm just...
We're gonna get so much hate mail.
I'm just kidding. It's just a joke.
Do you understand, like, what is Android? It's
just-
like Nikon versus
I know, it's
Canon.
just, but
like,
it's just
they
a joke.
get
I really don't
so
care. Use
mad.
any camera you want. I don't care. I'm just having fun. All right. So anyway, so you're on vacation. You're taking all these pictures. You went to Spain or whatever. And then you sync them to Dropbox and all of your like vacation photos. So whoever winds up putting together either a slideshow or a photo book or whatever, all the photos are there. I like that tip. That's
Yeah,
a good tip,
I do the same thing. But I use Amazon Photos. We use Amazon Photos because it comes with my Amazon Prime. So it's just I don't have to pay for an extra thing.
There you go.
So yeah, but that's the whole thing is using the point being in that tip, use a service that you can sync your photos to and share your photos together because it's really easy nowadays.
Would you like a Beaver nugget?
No.
No. Okay. Let's
thanks.
see. I'm not even going to read that one. Rory.
Well, maybe I'll read. Maybe I'll do. Maybe I'll teach that class.
Rory
is saying, my tip: remember to check the quality settings and use RAW when you want to print large images.
All right, so Rory, here's what I do. And this is because Rory's tip is he's right on the money. I shoot in Apple's regular, it's a version of JPEG called HEIC, and I shoot in that all the time. Because I'm shooting 24 megapixels, you don't want to fill up your phone. Every time you shoot a RAW photo, it's 75 megabytes. You shoot 12 photos and you shot a gig, all right? So, here's what I do. You have to go into your camera settings and you turn on RAW. Say, I want to use Apple Pro RAW. But you're not actually going to, that's just telling your phone, I want the option of shooting in RAW. It's not shooting, I want the option. Then, when you're standing in front of something and it's really good, you're going to tap on the little symbol for JPEG and you'll switch it to RAW. You shoot those RAW photos and switch it back to JPEG. So you're only going to turn on RAW when you know, okay, this is a really good spot. I'm standing at something really cool or great or whatever.
Yeah, and it's right there, so you can see, like, it's if you guys pull up my screen, it's right there. It's like a little checkbox there.
Right. You just, but just understand.
In there under formats.
But just understand when you turn that on, you're not shooting in RAW. You're just telling the camera, I might want to shoot in RAW later. And then you can actually tap on the word JPEG and it'll say, do you want JPEG or RAW? You're going to click on RAW.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Actually, we could probably see it right there up in the corner. There's a little like X with the RAW.
It's not like that anymore.
I know.
It's changed in iOS 26.
The new iOS, this is the older iOS. There's a button up there. So you just got to look for it, and it'll say RAW.
Yep.
And then it won't say RAW when it's not on.
There you go. All right. And, all right.
All right. So we got to take a break. They're telling us
I think that's a great idea.
So we got to
Let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll have a bunch more Android jokes.
Oh, boy. We're
All right.
in trouble.
Hey, how do you make an Android user's car more aerodynamic?
I don't know, Scott.
You take the Domino's sign off the roof.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
Hello, this is Nikon Ambassador Hilmar Smith, and I'm at the KelbyOne Studios filming my new class. This is going to be a continuation of the why seamless many ways to use it. So today we're going to be using paint, little bows to decorate your why seamless. We're going to be playing and creating like origami and paper boats, paper airplanes. We are creating like a little notebook page. We are wrinkling, we're using so many fun things to level up and use your Y Seamless in a more creative way. So if you want to level up your creativity, come and join me at KelbyOne.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Hey, we're back.
We're back.
Scott and Erik.
Spicy.
The comments are spicy today.
Yep. And I knew the minute you started talking about a subject.
Oh, I'm just having fun. I don't
like,
really have
again,
anything.
PC and Mac or Republican, Democrat. Like you're starting to get into fiery territory when you start talking the Android.
Just
iPhone
use
thing.
whatever phone you want. It's okay. All right. I got some more tips for you. All right. Let's talk about the right lens for shooting portraits. So, I'm going to try to talk you out of using a particular lens, and that is just the regular 1x lens. So the normal wide-angle lens is not very flattering. If you use 1x and you shoot a close-up portrait of somebody, it's going to distort their face. If you just switch to a 2x zoom, a 4x zoom, just watch the difference between the 1x and the 2x. Look at the difference in the distortion. Same person, same pose, same everything, taken 5 seconds apart. The only difference is I switched from 1x to 2x. Now, I would like it even better if I stepped back further and went to 4x. But look at the difference like in the facial features. Look at her eyes and everything. It's just, it distorts all that kind of stuff. So I think that, just don't shoot portraits, especially if you're up close with a 1x. It's just, it makes it more flattering and less distortion and all that stuff. All right, I
got something.
All right.
This is you want to use your phone professionally. Like you want to take it up a notch. You know what you need to do? You got to sometimes use a tripod, and that's where. But what's great about using a tripod with the phone is there's so many options, and the phone is so much cheaper than any mirrorless product. Like because this is the thing with a tripod, you don't need all this stuff. The next thing you need to get a grip for the phone.
Get a grip.
Right, and that's where the Platypod grip's great because it mounts very easy. It's got the Arca Swiss plate, so you're already a photographer. You probably gonna need a grip, and you probably already have a tripod. But then the other thing is use a wireless or Bluetooth trigger when you're shooting. Right, if you want to not touch the camera and treat it professionally, or use your watch and the camera app.
Right,
on your
that's
watch,
one of the tips here. Somebody gave us this tip. Storm Dancing said, my tip is to get a tripod and a remote, which Erik just showed you, or use your Apple Watch as the remote. The reason why I like the Apple Watch, Erik, is because
it shows your preview, right?
You see a preview of what you're going to shoot, and then you can do it. You can also use it for very candid shots, like you're trying to shoot somebody in a restaurant or something. Maybe you're a private investigator, and you hit the button.
It's amazing. And another reason why you might want to use that is like one of the other accessories that you can get is right here on the screen. It's a little called a Pocket Tripod Pro, and you see how low you can get it. Like there, we were shooting in New York. We're shooting a taxi
in the water,
and we're in the little puddle there. But we have the camera flipped over, so it's even closer to the water, right?
Yeah, the camera's flipped upside down. That's somebody else's tip.
When you have that watch, you don't have to get down and like you literally can move it with your foot and kind of just move it around and be watching on your camera and get in that position.
We call that photography.
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 All right. So what else you got?
I got another one. All right. So this is one that's kind of cool. You take a photo, right? You take a portrait, but you can make a high-key studio portrait right in your phone without even going to the Photos app or anything. All right. Here's how you do it. All right. We'll start off with just a regular shot. All right. Obviously taken with like a 2x. All right, here's what we're going to do. See the little cube, the little cubey 3D thing? All right, you can switch to different looks, go all the way to the last one, and it creates a high key. It turns the background white. It makes your photo black and white. It does the whole thing for you just by switching to that cube. That's a pretty neat little thing, but there's other ones that add kind of a studio lighting look. See how it fills in like a fill flash? So that thing's very underused. If you ever wonder what's under that cube, it's very cool stuff. Yeah, look at the difference of just the studio light. It's like you added a flash on location, and I think that is particularly cool.
It is really cool. It's amazing what you can do with that.
All right, we're gonna read some tips here because they're coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this, Terry White says the new AirPod Pro 3 can also be used as a remote trigger. So you can take a picture.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I didn't
You
even
know,
know that.
the other thing is if you don't have any of those devices, like you don't have a trigger, you don't have an Apple Watch, all that stuff, what I'd suggest at that point, use the timer.
Self-timers built in.
Self-timer. Yep. All right, what else we got over here? So, Stormdance was talking about tripod and remote. Chase L saying, my iPhone tip is using Project Indigo camera app from Apple. It's like a cheat code for easy shots with great focus and control.
Yeah, so Project Indigo, it's a free app. Adobe created it as a more advanced camera. It's a little, the learning curve, it's got a little learning curve to it. It's very powerful, but it just takes a little, you know. The Apple one is designed for ease, and the Adobe one is designed for, like, it does long exposures. Like
Yeah. I mean, if
very long
I think what
exposures.
it's for is if you're like, I've hit the limitations, but I want to do something a little bit more advanced, and
Yeah.
you're at that advanced user level where it's not going to confuse you.
Right.
Because that's what, if you're starting out and you don't know the basics of just using the camera app and you're going to go to Project Indigo, like Scott said, you're going to kind of be confused. So you got to be at that point where you're not confused
Hey,
about
you got
that.
a tip that's kind of right up what we're
Yes,
talking about.
and that's where I was talking about tripod. So the next tip is use your iPhone to shoot long exposures, right? And what's great about it is there's so many app-based long exposure apps now. And what's great about them is they use a thing called frame averaging. So you don't need an ND filter.
Yeah, you don't
Like,
put
that's
anything over
what's,
your lens.
And then Android does have I always put it in there because I teach on both. Android does have a built-in ND, but it maxes out after a few seconds, right? So I haven't found on Android a great one yet, but on iPhone there is this app called Even Longer, which I love. This app will create long exposures right in the app. It does it in RAW format too if you get the Pro version. So you can also do star trails in it. It does star trails automatically, frame averaging, a night mode. It even does light trails mode, so it does like a light trails if you have trails going through your scene. So all that through an app, rather than having to, with a mirrorless camera, I've got to put on an ND filter, do the calculations, do all that stuff. You don't have to do any of that with the long exposure apps.
Hey, can you bring up Eric's screen again? Because I want to show you, look at the third picture, the architectural shot.
Yeah.
I think that when people think about long exposure, they're thinking about mostly water.
Yes.
Like water's moving, it's a fountain, it's a waterfall, it's the ocean, it's whatever. But it also works as long as the sky is the clouds are moving.
Yeah.
It'll do a great, I mean, that's a really nice looking shot with
Yeah.
the nice streaky, smooth clouds that you get from doing the long exposure.
And these are great. I mean, and a lot of manufacturers are there are some manufacturers that are starting to put this in their mirrorless cameras, this frame averaging. The frame averaging actually started out years ago, and where this technology came from was Phase One put it in their cameras, in their $30,000 camera. And now you've got it in your iPhone, the same technology.
It's a lot of clams. Hey, Rory has a tip here, fourth from the bottom.
Yeah, another tip. If you're shooting live when in edit view of a picture, you
You might
have
just
to take,
start that one over.
Yes, another tip. If you shoot in live, so that live mode, when it is in edit view of your picture, you have gotten to, I can't even read it. You read it.
Another tip, if you shoot in live mode, when you're in the edit screen of the picture that you've taken, tap on the live button and you can swipe through the frames to select the best picture.
Yes.
Now, this is not Eric's fault. He was drinking so heavily before.
I was.
He was just doing shot after shot.
shot
I'm like,
and
Eric, we have a
shot. I
show
don't
to
even know
do.
what to do.
And all right, let's see what else. We got a couple other tips. There was another one. We talked about that one. We talked about that one. That one. I'm looking at making sure that we got everybody. Oh, we did talk about the holding your iPhone upside down, which is what Eric showed in that other picture. Can you scroll up for a sec? That was from Nina. Nina says, hold your iPhone upside down and low to the ground to change the perspective. So what's nice about Nina's tip is when you turn your phone upside down, your camera app automatically turns right side up. So your lens is all the way down on the ground, but your camera app and where you can press everything is right there. It's nice.
So it's really cool.
It's very nice, very nice.
And then somebody asked, Natalie is asking, have you tried the reflex lenses with your iPhone? Are they worth it? So this is attaching lenses.
Yep.
I have tried that.
I know, I have
What
too.
it is I found that for what it gets me versus the complexity of carrying it around, it doesn't make sense for me. That's just me.
Hey, Riaz
Doesn't make
looks
sense.
like a really good tip.
Yeah. Tip, use the main 1X camera to do most night shoots. Can't agree more. Like, that's the thing. If you're wanting to do night stuff, you got to use the 1X. That's the best sensor for low light. And it is. Like, your 1X sensor is the best sensor for low light. It's your best sensor overall.
Yeah.
On all of them. So.
All right, I think that's everybody that we've got. I think I might have another tip or two for you. Hold on, let me see. This is a good one from Dan.
Oh, man, Bill's got a good one.
Where's Bill?
It's right above. He can't resist this important tip to keep your iPhone from being stolen. And he says, put an Android case on it and nobody will touch it. Oh, snap.
Oh,
that's it.
ouch.
We went there. We went there this show. Uh-oh. Take a break. Take a break.
All right, we're going to go to break on that note. Remember, we didn't say that.
We didn't say it.
It wasn't us.
It wasn't us.
It was Bill.
Yep.
Bill's a nice guy. Stick around. We're back on the grid, and Stu's here, so it's a little special episode of the grid. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. In this class, I'm going to show you the 3 deadly sins of sky replacement. These are 3 mistakes I see a lot of people doing sky replacement are doing over and over and over. So we're going to tackle all 3, and then I'm going to show you how to replace the sky for sunrise, sunset, even the Milky Way. I'm even going to show you how to do time blending, where you take a sunset and then you add the Milky Way. I'm going to show you what to do when the sky replacement doesn't work. I'm also going to show you how to use Nano Banana, which just came into Photoshop, which is Google AI, to do sky replacement if you don't have a huge collection of sky. This class is the latest on sky replacement. It's going to blow your mind exclusively on KelbyOne.
This is New York City. My name is Ali Rajabi, and welcome to my class, Street as a Studio, Seeing Light, Form, and Possibility. Every corner here holds something unexpected, a flash of light, a shadow, a gesture, a color that only lasts for a second. This class is about learning to recognize those moments, to see beyond the surface, and to create photographs that feels alive and intentional. It's not about perfection or post-processing. It's about vision, patience, and curiosity. We'll explore how to use light, people, and even everyday objects to build images that are thoughtful and full of a story. The street is your studio, wide open, unpredictable, and full of possibility. Let's step into it together and see what this amazing city offers.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Hey, we're back, Scott and Eric, and Stan has a really good point here, and it's a good tip.
Yeah, he saw friends' travel pictures, all selfies, and his tip is take pictures where you are not of just you. I don't want to see 100 pictures of your face, you know. Like, and I think I'm guilty of the opposite, where I don't take enough pictures of me. I take pictures of everything else.
My wife has to take a picture of me. I literally do not shoot selfies. I just don't do it.
But it is a reminder on both sides, is like, don't just take pictures of you, but then also don't just take pictures of other stuff. You need to have you somewhere in there at some point.
I like the world that Sharon's living in. Sharon says, why is it that Apple users diss Android and PC, but not the other way around? Sharon, the iPhone and Macs get dissed on a level you can't even imagine.
Yes.
And it's just because you're on the other side. They get to, I've had people just...
It's both sides. This is where...
Yeah, it's both sides.
Please understand, we're joking. Or
Yeah,
at least
we're just having fun
I'm
with
joking.
it.
Are you joking?
I'm joking.
He's
Yeah,
joking,
of course.
right? We're just joking. We joke all the time.
I don't
you can
care
see,
what
we joke about like Dobson's overrun the comments because we took him off the jib, right? Like, but we're just joking about that. He does a fine job. We're just joking.
Yeah,
Right?
we're
But
just-
it
we're
is
just
one of those
goofing.
things where these two, a camera is a camera to me. Like, it doesn't matter. I just prefer the experience of one versus the other. Just like, that's what, I could shoot Nikon or I could shoot Canon. I just choose more times to shoot Canon because it gets out of my way a lot of times.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
and
have
you
menu
should
systems.
use whatever camera,
Yes, just use what you want.
phone, or whatever, or computer system that you like, whatever works for you. It doesn't change my life one way or the other if you shoot an iPhone or an Android or Google. It doesn't change my life in any way. It changes your life. It doesn't change my life. It doesn't affect me. I don't really care what you use. When I was a young man, I used to fight the Mac PC thing because I'll give you an example. I wrote this book, and this guy, my neighbor, or a guy in my neighborhood, like drove up, and I had an Apple shirt on, right? I bought it at the Apple store out in California, and my neighbor comes up and he goes, "You use Apple?" And this was about my computer, and I said, "Yeah, I've got a whatever I had back then, an iMac or whatever." And he's like, "Really? All right, those are toys. Why?" And he starts just. This is my neighbor just going off on me like, can you imagine if he drove up and I said, "Is that a Toyota? You're driving a Toyota? What a piece of crap. Are you kidding me?" But that's what he did to me about my computer. That was our life. That was literally our life for so
It is
many
true.
years.
I see what you're saying. Because I started off on Mac actually back in the day. It was about like 2000, somewhere in there. And yeah, it's been up until maybe the last 10 years that it almost kind of flipped a little bit, right? But again, who cares? Like, who cares? If you like the PC, like, go for it. Like, and at the end of the day, the image is the image. Like, I don't think anybody's going to notice Android versus iPhone versus Canon versus Sony versus, like, you're not going to notice the end result. The photo is just going to be a great photo, and it doesn't matter if you edit it on a PC or you edit it on a Mac or you edit it in Linux. It's just like if you're on Linux, you better know like how to do like open source stuff and installing your own stuff and all that good stuff. It's just going to be harder.
Can you see my screen? This is a book that I wrote a long, long time ago. And it was about the experience 2002 of being a Mac user in 2002, where everybody thought Macs were a joke and you couldn't do. And so if you look at the cover, let me see if it'll blow it up.
Look, you have Comp USA in there in the description. Comp USA, wow.
So, an irreverent, off-the-wall, PC-slamming, totally biased look at what it's like to be a Macintosh user in a Windows-dominated world. And the book, it was quite a hit back in the day. And it was, for a long time, it was the only book that I had that was translated into Japanese. None of my Photoshop books, none of my photography books back then were translated into Japanese. But this one, it was translated into all kinds of different languages, but thought it was interesting. And the book was really pretty much a humor book. So I did it from it's like you saw the subhead. But back then, if you used a Mac, people basically, thought you were some kind of an idiot.
Yep.
And it was just, are they still in business? I mean, are they going out of business? And of course, it has changed over time. But, once Steve Jobs came back, things took a quick turn. But anyway.
Yeah, like Trish is saying, I remember the crap Scott got when he switched from Nikon to Canon. It was so bad.
Yeah,
it
who
really
cares?
was. I mean, it was just
terrible,
the attacks. And then what's funny is the attacks of the people that then you look at their photography and like, you need to just like pick a better camera than worry about your camera brand. You just need to like work on your photography. You don't need to be judging people for what they're using. Like, your photography sucks. You don't even need to have an opinion. Like that's the whole thing. It's like, but that's at the end of the day, like, just use what you want to use. And if that's great, if that's what you use, that's great. And if somebody else uses another thing, there's just patterns. Like, there's reasons why most of the people that are photographers professionally, they kind of use them. I mean, there's just a reason why, but that doesn't mean you have to. It just means that there's a reason why.
Yeah. Like if you go to any conference in photography, right?
Yeah.
Anyone, and you go around to the classes, and let's say there's 20 instructors, 18 of them are using Macs.
There's a reason, but it doesn't mean you have to do that.
You don't have to do it.
It's not going to make a difference, but there's a reason, right? And it's okay, but like just can't we all just get along?
No. Hold on, I'm looking for something here.
Stu's got a comment over there. He says, "I hate that it's called an iPhone. It should be called an iCamera. I don't pay $1,400 for a phone." Well, this is true.
He's right.
That's what's so great though about iPhone, Samsung, Google, whatever phone. It's not only a phone, it's a camera. It's a HD high definition video camera. You know, it's like 8K video cameras, a lot of them. You know, so I mean, it's amazing what's in that box. You know, place to get your email, internet, social media, all that stuff, all built into one device. It's amazing.
All right, let me just see. All right, I was going to see
And
if
Paul
was
is
gonna
saying,
read you something.
this is what we're trying to say there. Paul is saying, it's all in the hands of the user, right? Like, that's the thing. If you need to justify what you're using at that level, there's probably got to kind of look in the mirror. You know, like there's, you know what I mean?
Look at this comment from Jack. Jack says, I switched to Mac after going to the Photoshop World Conference and seeing every, in caps, instructor teaching with a Mac. I figured there must be something to do it. All right, I got to tell you my Mac story, all right?
Yes.
And I'm going to leave the names and stuff out of it.
Uh-oh.
All right. But I was asked to be on an advisory board for something. And so I flew to the West Coast. It was a tech company, which
Yes.
will be named. And it was a PC-based company, but they asked me to be on this advisory panel. So I flew out there, and I got out there, and I knew almost all the photographers. There was, let's say, 14 of us. There were 14 of us out there, and we were working for 3 days, and everybody brought a Mac, except for the guy sitting next to me, who was a Mac user. He borrowed a PC because he knew we were going to a PC company. So we're having these meetings and stuff, and then they canceled. We had an agenda every day, and they canceled one, and they said, a vice president wants to come in and talk to you. So we're canceling this session on blank. So the vice president comes in, and he sees us all sitting in a U-shaped meeting room with Macs.
Yeah, you can tell usually.
It wasn't,
right there.
well, let's
It's
just
pretty
say it was
obvious.
Microsoft or
Yeah,
Dell.
yeah.
Let's say it was Dell, and we come in and everybody has a Mac. And so I guess he had walked by and saw that we were all using Macs, and he was pissed. And he comes in and he goes, thank you for letting me interrupt your thing. He was pretty nice about it, but you could tell he was chapped. And he goes, I just need to know something. He goes, I know that our computers, it wasn't Dell, by the way. I promise it was not Dell, but I use Dell's. He says, I know that our computers will do everything that a Mac will do. Every single thing. There's nothing that you can do that we
And
can't
that's
do.
true. That's
There's
true.
not a single
That's
thing.
true.
Why in the hell does every photographer use a Mac? I want you to tell me the truth. And some people, nobody was expecting this, so people, So it got down to me, and I was so I was sitting on this end of the room, so it went through all these other photographers who they were kind of, I don't know, and it got to me. And I said, I can tell you exactly what it is. And he's like, finally, tell me what it is. So I asked my buddy, can I borrow your laptop? So he gives me his PC laptop. And I take his PC laptop and I hold it up to him. And I said, look at this. The bottom of that looked like a bottom of a refrigerator. It had a metal fan. It had screws
Slots
that were,
everywhere.
it had all this different stuff on the bottom. It looked like the bottom of a refrigerator or a microwave. Then I picked up my Mac and I said, look at this. And I said, that's why. This is the tool that we create our stories with, tell our stories, we create our art. How it looks matters. How this whole thing, how it feels, how it looks, the font that Apple chooses, the fact that Apple cares about the font that they choose speaks to creative people. Now, That was 10, 12 years ago, and it's the exact same story. Now, I will say this, most of the PC users have cleaned up.
Oh, yeah, the companies have
They
cleaned
all
them up.
kind of switched to make it look like a PowerBook. It's the best-selling laptop in the world.
Yeah, they all made them to look like that for a reason, too.
Yep. But this is the tool that we create with. Now, years later, this would be maybe right around COVID, I got hired to consult another company that makes hardware about a new, they were going to make a touchscreen tablet. Mm-hmm. And they sent it to me, and then I wound up with another consultant who's asking me, what do you think about this thing? I said, it works well, but you're not going to get Mac people to buy it. And they're like, why not? And I hold up their pencil, and I go, because you built a pencil for the accounting department. I said, let me grab an Apple Pencil. I grabbed it and said, this one's for artists. This one says to me, I don't care about it. It's just a utility.
Yeah,
it's just a pencil. It doesn't have to look good. Yeah. Yes, it does. How things look matter, and they matter to creative people. And so what this is it doesn't do anything that any PC won't do, but it speaks to the heart of creative people. That's what it does. The OS gets out of the way so you can focus on your stuff. It is the tool that creative people use, just like a PC is the tool the accounting department uses. I'm stepping off my soapbox.
But it's 100% the truth, and that's where you'd ask me, it just works, it gets out of my way, and it's simple, right? And that's honestly what a lot of times I want, is I don't want the technology to get in my way.
Yeah, and you know what? If you switch to Mac, it doesn't change my life. I don't get a kickback. I don't get.
If you stay on PC, it doesn't change our lives.
Doesn't change our lives in any way. So
if
that's it.
you switch from Mac to PC, doesn't matter.
That is it. All right. Butch has a good tip. You can use the volume button as the shutter button, so it's similar to your camera. Hey, I got a quick tip. We're out of time, but let me just zip through
Well, do we need to take one more break?
No, I think we're braked out.
Or are we braked out?
Are we braked out?
We're braked out.
All right.
So we're going to need to pick a winner and then get winners too.
All right. I got a quick tip. So a lot of the new phones, like mine right here, have a little action button on the side, and by default, you just tap it and it brings up your camera really quick, right?
Yep.
It's just real quick and fast. Not everybody has a camera with that, but I've got one that's just as fast as using that side button. Did you notice when I pressed it, there's a slight pause and then it shows up? Here's how not to miss the shot. All right? Don't wake up your phone. If it's in your pocket, don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah, just swipe.
Just grab the phone and swipe left. You do not need to log in. Don't wake it up. Don't do anything. But if you want to get to your camera instantly, just take it out of your pocket or your purse, swipe left, and it's at the camera. It's faster than the action button.
You just swipe.
That's it. Did you see how fast it came up?
Yeah.
It comes up faster than the one button that brings it up, all right? So that was it. Oh, the other one was taking photos on the slide, but we talked about this, which was use your
watch.
There's taking a picture of the dog. That's my dog. That's my dog right there. Taking a picture of my dog. I like my dog. All right, I'm going to give you one app thing Eric talked about even longer, which I have on my phone. It's terrific. But this app is one my wife found and turned me on to.
I love this one too.
Lens Distortions is so good for adding any kind of light burst, light leak, sun, or fog and stuff. And you can buy whatever you want, and you get some freebies, and then, but look at the light hits, like you can add little light hits. Look at all the different ones.
Oh, yeah,
I wish I had these in Lightroom. And look at this smoke. You can add smoke and fog just by, tapping on it. Look. And you can move your fingers to slide it down. Why isn't this stuff in Lightroom? But stuff like this is in On1. That's why a lot of people like the On1 stuff, because they have a lot of these type of things. But it's a great app. It's easy to use. You have lots of control, and you can control the amount and fades and everything. It's an unbelievable app. God, it used to be like $1.99. It's like $10 an hour or something. It's more, but it's worth it. It's a terrific. If you only had to have one single app, that's the one to have.
All right. Well, Susan's got a good comment here that, it's all about getting the most from what you have. The reward is in the results, not the gear. That's it. right there.
That's it, right
And that's
there.
What, you got to really look in the mirror sometimes. What is your results that you're getting out of something that you're feeling so passionate about? Like if you're feeling so passionate, you're getting like crappy photos. Well, that's a different story. All right, and then Lenworth is saying, use the tool that works for you. That's I think what we're preaching.
Yeah,
here.
that's it.
Use the tool that works for you. You see the patterns.
Edward's up in a freezing Toronto. His tip is to get a thumb drive with a USB-C connector. They're like tiny, pocketable. They're tiny, pocketable, and have enough storage to get you through the day, even if you're shooting RAW. That's a good tip.
Yeah, I mean,
You can have it right to your USB.
Our video department, you can plug in an SSD drive to these iPhones now, and they can do uncompressed video out of these things. It's crazy.
All right. I think
Daniel's got something for the Even Longer app. You can receive a discount if you're a KelbyOne member. So it's right under the discounts. So if you go into your membership.
By the way, last week we had the guys on from Rights Click.
Yeah.
I signed up this weekend. I used the KelbyOne discount.
Over 50% off.
It's over 50% off. So I went to the KelbyOne site. I logged in as my member and all that. I used they give you a code. They had a link and a code. I got in. So I am a member now, but I haven't uploaded my pictures. That's this weekend's project. So day after tomorrow, I'm going to get my first batch of 750 and send them up. But I love what those guys are doing. I absolutely love it. By the way, if you didn't see last week's show, go back and watch it. It is a company that handles all your copyright for you. They work with the copyright office. It's super inexpensive. It's $12 a month, but if you're a KelbyOne member, you can get it for $5 something. They handle everything. Basically, you just go, here's my name. Yes, I own these photos. Go copyright them. Because the copywriting process, it's easier to squeeze toothpaste back into the tube than it is to register your own copyright software, because the government's website, and you have to create spreadsheets. It's just a nightmare. It's awful. And they do every bit of it for you, and they do it immediately, and it's awesome. And so I signed up this weekend using the KelbyOne discount. Woo, let's go.
So there's, Dawson brought it up here. Somebody's asking, I am going to go to Mac soon, but I'm stuck between an iMac Air and an iMac Pro. Which do you recommend? I think you might be talking about an iPad. Is there an iMac Air?
There's not an iMac Air. What there is, those are iPad.
Or it could be.
There's an iPad Air and an iPad Pro. Go. What I would recommend is this.
There's the MacBook Air.
The
and
MacBook
Pro.
Air. That's my next computer. I'm using a MacBook Pro. Let's just say that's what you were saying.
I think you're saying MacBook Pro, MacBook Air.
All right. So I'm using a MacBook Pro now, and honestly, I don't do things on it that would require the Pro, which is a much more expensive computer. So I don't do music production on it. I have an Apple Studio at home that I do music production on. I don't do any video whatsoever. I have a computer at home that would do it wonderfully well. So I basically bought this very heavy, expensive computer when a MacBook Air, for what we do in Photoshop and in Lightroom, fantastic. This is an M1 Mac. The MacBook Air is an M5. That's how, this is an old one. The one I'm running is like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. It's time for a new one.
Me too.
All right. Hey, speaking of that, very often Karen in our accounting department watches the show, and I had to warn her last week that I'm buying that new Canon 10-20 lens. Mm-hmm. This is another warning, Karen.
Karen,
I'm getting a MacBook Air. Well, hey, someone's got to watch the store, right?
Yep. All right, so we've got to give away some prizes. Do we have prize
who's going to
winners?
win this book?
Well, we got to decide on that. I don't know how we're going to decide on. I think you got to pick a winner. But Dobson, do you have the other winners?
Yeah, who won the other stuff?
Or we gotta stall. We got another tip because I don't think Dobson's ready.
Yeah, give me a second. I think I might have another tip here.
Oh no,
ready.
He's got the winners, but we need to pick a winner for your iPhone book, right?
Yeah, we got to pick a winner from that list. So we can do that. Oh, I got another tip I could do too. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Nanette says that's what makes this show great. You guys joking around. We are joking around a lot. I mean, we do joke around.
That's how we are in real life.
How we are in real life.
Sadly, it's just.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a cup of tea for everybody, but we like it.
It gets us through the
All right,
day.
keep on scrolling up there.
All right, I got another tip,
Let's
though.
see. I'm looking through these. There's some great tips today.
All right, I got a tip.
Yep.
All right, I
Go
got a
for it.
tip. This is a tip for when you're shooting couples, married couples, engaged couples, boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever. This is a classic mistake that I see people make in composition of this. And what it is basically this. Here's the picture. Say, get close together. Look, she's pressed against him. She can't get any closer to him. She's literally right up against him. But they look like brother and sister because of the distance between them. That gap between their heads doesn't bring any intimacy. It doesn't say we're in love. It doesn't say any of that stuff. All you have to do is do this. Say, all right, guys, get close together. Then you go and you take the picture. And you walk over there and you show them this gap. Say, see that gap between each other? Yeah, you guys got to get really close. So tilt your head in and tilt your head in. Watch the difference. Look at that.
Yes.
It's an entirely different photo.
Yes.
I'm going to put them side by side.
That's the difference when we're saying in those critiques, like they look disconnected, they don't look together, they don't look a couple. Like just turning that, it was everything to that
Yeah,
photo.
it just all of a sudden it brings that intimacy and that, and that connection.
On the left, it looks like brother, sister,
Yeah.
right? On the right, it looks like couple.
And
That's the
on the
difference.
right, if it still is brother and sister, you guys need to have a talk.
Yeah, that's different.
All right. And it's not something that Buc-ees Beaver Nuggets will help.
No. We don't even want to go there.
All right. Okay, Eric, who's going to win this thing?
I don't know. I saw a comment when he was rolling through that I didn't even see. I know it's on an iPhone comment, but scroll up. It's to the top. That's all the way. Is it right there? I didn't even. Oh, it's one from Dan here, and we didn't even read it. But my tip is to really practice. May think it's easy at first, but the first time he tried a pano at a church in Spain, it was terrible.
Right.
And I honestly, we talked about that like a week or two ago, and I just don't think that people really like let that sink in. Is like, if you don't go apply what we're talking about here, if you don't go apply the positioning people, if you don't go do this stuff, you're never going to do it. And then if you get in the moment where you're in that perfect place and you're trying it out, you're going to be like that, where I wanted that awesome pano of the church, and because I didn't know what I was doing, because I've never done it before.
I tried it
I've
first
seen Scott
time.
do it. I've seen them talk about it, but I didn't actually go do it. Like that's the
You can
change.
practice panos in your house. And I'm betting that he said, I was at a church in Spain. I bet it was La Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, which is one of the most unbelievable churches on earth, though Spain is full of gorgeous churches. But I'm going to guess. And he said it was terrible. That thing to practice. So what we do is mostly play. We just walk around and take pictures.
Yeah.
But we're not trying to get better at a particular thing.
Yeah, you're not studying the pano feature.
Yeah, and you're not getting used to not going from like this, so you get a round weird pano. You're getting used to doing it like this, to where it gets nice and straight, and it's like there's so many things that you can do to make it better. And if you're doing it the first time when it's too late, like he was,
the reason I see this happen more often than not with people, especially like come to my workshops or come to your workshops or come to our workshops and stuff, like they're using things for the first time, even though they could have practiced it in their own backyard, they could have practiced it in their own house, but they just didn't because they were waiting to play the game. And then they hit the roadblocks, or they screw up, or then the worst is you take that travel, you go home, and then you look at your picture from Spain and you're like, man, if I would have just known that I have to not like swing out here with a pano.
okay, who's going to win this prize?
I think that was a good comment.
Oh, you think that's the one?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what else do we got?
No, that was a good one.
I like that. I mean, that's the thing is, if you're going to get this book, reading it, but then applying what's in it is the important part. That if you don't apply what's in here, your photography ain't going to get any better.
Yeah, by the way, all the tips that you saw today are from that book, right? All the tips that you saw.
That's what I love
they're
about
right
this
in this
book
book.
is, it's one page, one tip. So you've got all these pages, they're all tips.
Yeah, can you hold up a spread so they can see?
So you can see just like one page, one tip, one page, one tip.
Yep.
And you just keep going through it. And so that's where you're getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. It's over 245 pages of them.
That's a lot of pages.
There you go.
The new book's even bigger, but the new book won't be out for like 4 or 5 months.
Okay, so we got some winners. Platypod Handle is going to Stan Turk, and then Dan P is winning the Night Photography book.
By Erik Kuna.
And then Barb, which Barb, you know the Barb you are, is getting the is getting the Lightroom book. And then On One No Noise, Natalie C. Jones is getting that. And then the iPhone book is going to Dan Dolek 702.
How do they redeem their prizes?
All you gotta do is email us over at gridprize@kelbyone.com. We'll verify your information, then send you over your prize.
Grid Prize, one word. Gridprize@kelbyone.com. Send it by Friday.
Yes.
All right. We still
and I do think
have
that,
we picked the winner? Is that the one we're doing the practice?
I do think next month, just to warn everybody, we are changing a little bit with our contest. So we're gonna be changing some stuff up with how we're gonna enter the contest coming up soon.
This is all true. All right. Who's gonna win it? Is that the one we're doing?
Yes,
The practice
yes,
guy?
that's
what was
we
his
did.
name?
Dan, that one.
But Dan won the
Dolek.
iPhone book too. Dan's getting a lot of books.
No. That's what we said,
Different
the iPhone
Dan?
book.
No, the winner gets the Lightroom book.
Oh, well then we screwed up. Then Dobson screwed up. It's all Dobson's fault.
Well, Mr. Dobson.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dan will get a signed copy of that, and Barb will get a signed copy of the Lightroom book.
You know what though? I'm gonna
Or we'll send Dan both books.
I'm gonna cut Dobson some slack. He assisted me on a shoot yesterday, and he was incredible. So I'm gonna just give him the benefit of the doubt. He did a killer job. We had a lot of stuff, a lot of plates in the air, and it all came together thanks to Dobson. So
there we go.
You know what my part of the job was? Click. Dobson did all the hard stuff. So we're gonna.
That's what Dobson usually does.
All right. Will we be back next Wednesday? Yes, we will.
No, but it'll be on Thursday.
Oh yes, Thursday. Yes, we're on
today is
Thursdays
Thursday.
now. And don't forget to sign up for the iPhone photography conference. Go to KelbyOneLive.com. And while you're thinking of like it's a new year and I should get really good at photography, go to KelbyOne.com. We've got a new class every single week. It is an unbelievable value. You will learn a ton. Your skills will grow. And we also have a lot of iPhone photography content. So if you want to learn the iPhone photography part, if you're tired of carrying around all that gear, we got you covered. Have a great week, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope your football team wins, and we'll see you next Thursday. Take care.